Hey YouTube, Satoshi Matrix here yet again bringing you another video. On my last video, I posted a review of the RetroBit RetroPort, which allows you to play NES games on the Super Nintendo or Super Famicom. This time I'm going to review a similar product, also by RetroBit, and that is the RetroGen Adapter. This allows you to play Sega Genesis games on a Super Nintendo. Now, had you have asked me this about 20 years ago, my mind would have exploded, because Genesis games on Super Nintendo, like, these were rivals. This would be like playing Xbox 360 games on a PS3, or playing Wii games on a PC, or something like that. You know, it's like, that wouldn't happen. But yet, it's crazy, because you can play, you know, Sonic the Hedgehog on the same system that plays Mario. So, how this works. Again, you plug this into the cartridge bay. It gets its power right through the pins on the bottom, so you don't need any external power supply. But the SNES does not supply the video or audio, so that comes out of a 3.5 millimeter little RCA adapter that gets plugged into the side, and then you can plug your Genesis games up top, and then they work off the system. The controls get mapped onto the Super Nintendo controller. You have the A, B, and C. You have the I think that's the Z, and you have the X, and you have the Y buttons. So you have all of the buttons, plus you have the mode button and the select or the start button. And then the D-pad. So the controls are actually, you know, you have all the buttons that you need. So let's plug this in and show you how it works. So plug the adapter right in. Oh, before I do that, I should also mention that on the side of the adapter is this dip switch. There are 4 different settings. There's NTSC, which is North America. There's PE, which is PAL Europe, and that's for Europe, obviously. NJ, which is NTSC J, which is Japan. So that's for Japanese imports. And then there's PA, which is PAL Asia. I don't think you'd ever have to use PAL Asia, because it's not likely that you'd ever buy games from that region, but in case you ever did, this thing is region free, so it will play on any region around the world. And just like the Retro port, which is the NES adapter, this is designed to fit into any SNES worldwide. So this will plug into the Japanese Super Famicom, as you can see here, but it also has the divots in the back of it to fit into North American cartridges, or North American Super Nintendos, without needing to modify the system at all. So let's plug this in and get it working. So I have it flipped into NTSC, which is North America. I'll plug in the RCA adapter into the side. Where it is? There it is. Plug that in. There we go. And let's try out Sonic the Hedgehog. Pop that open. Go grab the cartridge. Give it a light blow. Sonic 1. Plugged it in. And now let's turn on the TV and show you how it works. Now, before I plug this in and turn on the TV, I should mention one thing about this. This is sort of a bit testy on different types of TVs, especially CRTs. Although retro games look best on CRTs, this, for whatever reason, gives wildly different results on different CRTs I've tried. On this particular one, which is my Panasonic Color Pilot from 1984, you know, considering its age and everything, this it has some certain problems, especially during white stages or white sections, when their screen is flashed extreme white spots, like when the splash screen where Sega appears. So you'll see what happens is, on certain TVs, this will become extremely distorted, but it's a temporary effect, and it will only affect certain areas that have extremely bright colors, such as white. So, here's what I mean. Oops. But as soon as that stops, it clears up. And then it's completely fine. again, there's Sonic 1 on the Super Nintendo. So, there's Sonic. Let's try something else. Now, to get cartridges out is a little bit more difficult than getting them out of the retro port, which is the NES adapter. But it's still not a huge pain. So next, let's plug in Sonic 2. So here's Sonic 2. Light blow. Plug it in. Turn it on. And once again, you can see it does not like the bright white of Sega. But as soon as that goes away, then it's fine. But once again, the problems vary depending on the type of TV that you're using. If you're using an HD TV, the results might not be, it might not have this weird line effect at all. And it only will affect certain games. So there's Sonic 2 running. Now, the games I'm choosing are just, generally the most popular ones that I think that people will be wondering about. Sonic 3. Here's Sonic 3. Oops, I guess I got a blow on that one. Camera down. Alright. Again, same problem. In this case, see, there's no problem whatsoever. There's no weird effects until that happens. So until you think that there's before you think that there's something wrong with your RetroGen adapter if you buy this, do check out and try it on as many different TVs as you can, because on certain TVs you'll get various problems. This one tends to give me these individual problems, but again, that does vary depending on the TV that you try. And as you can hear, the audio of it sounds just perfect. There's absolutely nothing wrong. And the video that it provides, the composite video, is actually cleaner and better than actually the real hardware. It's amazing how good of quality composite video that this thing is providing. Alright, so there's Sonic 3. Let's put the camera down, pull it out. How about Sonic and Knuckles? Remember, Sonic & Knuckles has that lock-on effect of where it can lock on to the other Sonic games. So how about Sonic 3 and Knuckles? Let's plug this in. I'm just going to blow on it. Alright, so there's Sonic 3 and Sonic... Let's try that again. There we go. Alright, there we go. There's Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. Well, I could go Ice Cap Zone, but that would show you... Well, I'll do it anyway, because I love the music. Depending on the TV, this will look either perfect or you'll get what I'm getting. And I'm not sure what causes it. get the point. So there's Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. Let's plug in and try Streets of Rage. Yuzo Koshiro. Amazing music. Just fantastic. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, prepare to get a treat for the ears. Go, please. Alright, so there's Streets of Rage. Only thing better than Streets of Rage? Streets of Rage 2. Let's plug this in and showcase the amazing game. This is one of my favorite games ever made. Right here. Streets of Rage 2 from Sega. Early 90s, Sega Genesis. You know you're pretty awesome when you're got a copyright right into the title. Go with Blaze again. Streets of Rage. Now, among all the good games that this thing will play, of course, it'll play some of the not so good games. So, let's plug this in and play some of this. There it is. Oh, EA. Well, well, when you play this, obviously it makes sense to only play as Shaq, of course. It's like he's telling him off or something. Okay. Isn't it ironic that this is the game that has the problems? But again, depending on the TV that you have, this will play normally, but not that you'd really want to play this. But anyway, there's Shaq Fu. Let us never speak of that again. Alright. Lastly, I want to demonstrate that this thing will play games from other regions. So this is the infamous Zero Wing. This is the game, you know, with all your base and all that. But Zero Wing is actually a good game. This is an import for the MegaDrive. This is from Europe. So what I'm going to do is open it up, plug it in, and turn it on. And there you have it. Zero Wing for MegaDrive. So, the infamous Zero Wing. Just briefly boot this. So, as you can see, Zero Wing runs on the RetroGen. Before I go, I want to show you my reproduction copy of Mega Man The Wily Wars. Okay, The Wily Wars gets plugged in. Sega. Wily Wars RetroGen Super Famicom. Alright. Now, let's talk some cleanup. Certain games that don't work. Virtua Racing, for one. Virtua Racing has a special chip in it that allowed it to do, polygons somewhat similar to Star Fox on Super Nintendo. Now, if you try and run this game, plug it in, make sure it's plugged in, you just get nothing. That's it. Doesn't do anything. So, unfortunately, this is a game that is incompatible. As for other games that are incompatible, I don't know, because virtually every Genesis game I've tried, including my MegaDrive game of Zero Wing here, everything works. So the only game I have that does not is Virtua Racing here. So I don't know if there are games that don't work on this thing. I mean, if anyone tells me or anything, I'll put an annotation right here. But as far as I know, this thing works, pretty well. It's pretty much plays every Genesis game, every Mega Drive game. It will even play, reportedly, I don't have this to test, but I have heard that it will even play the Master System base converter, which allows you to play Sega Master System games on this, which technically would then let you play Sega Master System games on the RetroGen, which plays them on the Super Nintendo. So you could play Master System games with a Super Nintendo controller. How cool is that? I mean, come on. So, where can you buy this bad boy? You might be asking. The RetroGen, much like the RetroPort, is available from DOSCheap.com, and you can buy this. I'll put the link right here. Yeah, right there. So if you're planning on buying one of these, it's pretty awesome. It works with a lot of different TVs. Like I said, the TV that you use with it really will depend on whatever the brand that you have. Like I said, this TV is 27 years old, so take that it doesn't work, the whites and whatever, with a grain of salt, because newer TVs, like that TV right there, works perfectly. But again, it's whatever TV you have, so don't give up on the first one you try. Other than that, again, I was saying the video on this thing is extremely good composite video, much better than what the real hardware is capable of. But again, it's only composite, so it's not S-video or, RGB or anything like that. It's only composite, but the composite video is very, very good. It's very strong. So anyway, this is about my longest video I've ever done. So anyway, thanks for watching to this point, and I'll see you guys next time. Satoshi Matrix signing out.